how much will 100 ICP be worth during this bull run? Now, to answer that question, we have to take a look at a hypothetical scenario. In this case, let's say if ICP were to go to the price of $500, at that point, 100 ICP would be worth $50,000. Now, why is that? It's because 100 times 500 is, 50,000. But yeah, even besides that point, do I believe that $500 is a realistic price target for ICP during this bull run, hypothetically speaking? Yes, and even though that's not financial advice nor a guarantee, why do I think so? It's because I believe that when it comes to the internet computer, it's playing chess, while the other competitors, it feels like it's playing checkers. Now, why do I say that? Because everyone likes to say that, yeah, Solana's amazing. They say Ethereum's fantastic. They say that, wow, the BNB chain is all of this, all of that. But here's the thing, the internet computer just kind of has that Thanos snap where it just kind of defeats everyone because it's literally the world's most productive blockchain. Currently, it's helping facilitate over 500 million transactions per day, while at the same time maintaining reduced energy consumption and cost, which again means that it's the world's most productive blockchain. I mean, does it get any better than this? I don't think so. When it comes to the internet computer, man, I believe that it's one of a kind because people oftentimes like to say that, yeah, Solana's lightning fast, all this type of stuff. Well, the internet computer is also very fast. People like to say that, yeah, Solana has very low gas fees, it's very scalable. Well, so is this. So when people like to say that, oh yeah, this is caca, no, I disagree. Maybe the fans isn't there when compared to them, but in terms of pure fundamentals, it's just a lot better. At least that's the way I view it. Now, granted, does the internet computer have like the best ecosystem of all time? Does it have like the largest community? Again, no, it doesn't. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad because, in my opinion, this, if anything, showcases how we're still very early, relatively speaking, when it comes to the internet computer. Just imagine in the future, once there's mass adoption, once a lot of institutions do adopt something like the internet computer, man, the sky's the limit. And here's the thing. People often praise Ethereum for being fantastic, all this type of stuff, but you got to think about how when it comes to, for instance, Ethereum, gas fees are a complete no bueno. It's arguably not even scalable. And also on top of that, the average cost per instruction on Ethereum, on average, again, right, is over 40 million times more expensive than the internet computer. So you got to imagine that. That's kind of crazy to think about. The internet computer is that, I would say friendly in terms of its fees. It's very amazing. At least that's the way I view it. Now, here's the thing. People oftentimes like to argue that, yeah, the internet computer doesn't have enough marketing, all this type of stuff. Oh, wow, it doesn't have enough exposure. Well, here's the thing. They're not focused on random caca nonsense like partnering up with celebrities, with athletes. That's not what they care about. They care about building. They care about partnering up with enterprises. They could care less about this type of stuff. And in the long term, I think it's actually going to benefit the internet computer because if you take a look at it, even back in history, what facilitated the growth of the internet in a large scale? It was largely driven through enterprise adoption. When you take a look at it, the internet computer, they're trying to decentralize the internet, which is kind of crazy to think about. But sometimes people like to say that, yeah, this is trash, all this type of stuff. But hey, there's nothing wrong with having ambitions. There's nothing wrong with having goals and dreams because you take a look at how trying to decentralize the internet. Yeah, sure. Again, that's a grand vision. But if anything can do it, I think it's the internet computer because I believe it's that special. And the crazy thing is this. For $1 worth of smart contract data on the internet computer, you can get over 200 million bytes. But on the flip side, on Ethereum, for that exact same price, you can get only around 44 bytes. So yeah, I think that right there is checkmate. That's game, set, match right there. Because when it comes to the internet computer, I think sometimes people don't understand just how special it is. And for the people out there that complain that the exposure is caca, all this type of stuff, well, I disagree. Well, first of all, ICP, again, they may not have like these celebrity endorsers, all this type of stuff. But if you think about it, they're listed in a bunch of major exchanges. So if you think about it, they're indirectly marketing, but in a good way, because by being listed in many major exchanges, those who look at ICP anyways are already people who are in the crypto space to begin with, because of course, why would they be using a crypto exchange? But even besides that, of course, by having more exposure when it comes to exchanges, that right there can potentially create a stronger community, potentially more people believe in it. So of course, that's very beneficial when it comes to ICP. Not to mention, when it comes to a fully fledged bull run, this is going to be beneficial because people need easy access, right? If it's very difficult, people can only access it from these random decentralized exchanges, then yeah, it's a nightmare, complete caca. Then of course, during a fully fledged bull run, it's kind of hard to generate that buying pressure, that buying volume. But when it comes to ICP, man, exposure is pretty great. And also on top of that, the way I view it is that ICP is somewhat like a meme coin in a sense. Now, this may seem kind of weird, But the way I view it is that the potential upside, again, feels like a meme coin, because you take a look at how going to the price of $500, that right there, by the way, is around a 60x from here. So you got to imagine that. Typically, that's reserved for meme coins, usually in some cases. But the fantastic thing about the Internet Computer is that it's not a meme coin, right? It's a very amazing project. And now, is it like the smallest project out there? No. Do I believe that, some micro caps could, defeat it in terms of percentage increase during a bull run? Hypothetically, yes. But in my opinion, it doesn't necessarily mean that ICP is bad, because if you take a look at the Internet Computer, it's pretty well established, has a strong community. So the way I view it is that the risk doesn't feel too great, because if I went all in on like a micro cap, like, for instance, random project that only has like $100,000 market cap or whatever like that, then the risk is very high. You never know if it's ever going to pop off ever, really. I mean, if you think about it, right? But of course, if it does pop off, let's say it goes like $1 billion market cap, of course, then it's going to defeat ICP in terms of percentage increase, especially during this bull run from here on out, right? But in my opinion, I don't really mind though, because when it comes to ICP, it feels like the potential downside doesn't feel that great, but then the potential upside feels fantastic. At least personally for me, no one has to copy what I'm doing, but that's just the way I take a look at it. So when it comes to ICP, I think it's fantastic in a sense that, again, hypothetical upside feels like a meme coin, but then the potential downside doesn't feel too great because it's pretty much one of the most established projects out there. So it's not bad. That's the way I take a look at it. The way I take a look at ICP is basically like Solana, but back then. Because Solana at one point had a very strong community, but of course the price wasn't doing that well, and people didn't really believe in it at that time. But then it's just giving me those like Solana vibes, if that makes sense. But I do believe better days are ahead. There's over 500 million crypto owners. The Bitcoin ETF is amazing. And also, even the Ethereum ETF to a certain extent, even though I don't like Ethereum, fundamentally speaking, I still think it's positive for the whole crypto space. So if you think about that, it's just really a waiting game. It takes time for the sentiment to change, because as of right now, if you take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, it's kind of neutral. So I think people are 50-50 as of right now. They're seeing some meme coins pop off. They're seeing some smaller projects pop up, but they're kind of, I think, questioning whether or not, hey, is there really a future here? Whether or not cryptos are really going to have that 2021-like bull run. But in my opinion, hypothetically, there could be an amazing bull run, because as of right now, it's giving me that 2020 near the end of that year type of vibes. Because back then, right, before the 2021 bull run, near the end of 2020, a lot of people were questioning themselves. They were wondering, is crypto's really going to be there anymore? Is there going to be another bull run? All this type of stuff. Then 2021 was an absolutely legendary year when it comes to altcoins, also cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, everything. But I think as of right now, things could be a lot better, because there's way more crypto owners, there's way more institutional investors, there's way more enterprise adoption. So it's only fair to assume that the bull run could be amazing. But as of right now, again, a lot of the retail people, they're kind of 50-50, but I'm not 50-50. I'm all gas when it comes to that. I'm putting the pedal to the metal, if that makes sense. In this case, figuratively speaking, because I'm all in when it comes to cryptocurrencies. I believe in it. And I believe that around 6 months from right now, a year from right now, things could be very different. And that's why, I really do believe in this whole space. And I believe in ICP because I believe it's one of the best out there. So when it comes to people saying, yeah, the Internet Computer is caca, well, I disagree. I think better days are ahead. I think this bull run could be so amazing, but it's just a waiting game because, some people out there, they want to day trade, use leverage. It's up to them, but to me, I don't want to do that. I want to stick with my plan and just commit to it because, again, at the price of $500 ICP during this bull run, that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think this bull run could be so special. And the Internet Computer, the longer it doesn't really pop off in a sense, I think that's actually okay for the medium term because it gives people more of a chance to actually study what it's all about. But again, during this bull run, man, I think it could be so special, and all I got to do is just wait. And $500 for ICP wouldn't shock me whatsoever. I think it's that special, and I think this bull run could be that wonderful. And feel free to become a channel member if you want to get a prioritized response from me in the comments. And also, you can use these cool stickers and badges. So yeah, I think that's awesome. Also, on top of that, make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.